Hello, welcome everyone. Good afternoon. Thank you so much for taking the time and the effort of joining me in another wonderful session of Grammar in 1 Minute. I really appreciate your time and everything. All right, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon to each and every one of you. And I welcome you on board to another wonderful session of Grammar in 1 Minute with me, Alexander. Now, for the past weeks, we've been talking about prepositions, where we looked at the definitions of preposition. We said prepositions are words that we use to connect nouns or pronouns in sentences. We looked at the various examples of prepositions, where we basically define it and then look at its use and the rest. We again continued to look at some rules that we need to follow anytime we want to use prepositions, where we say a preposition is always followed by a noun in a sentence. So anytime we are using a preposition, it must or they must be followed by a noun. We again proceed to say a preposition or a prepositional phrase does not or should not include a verb. A preposition or a prepositional phrase should not include a verb. Now, from there, we moved on to look at some types of prepositions, where we say there are 6 main types of prepositions, where we say we have a single preposition, where we say a single preposition is a preposition that is made of just one word. Example is in, on, at, and the rest. We again, right from there, proceed to look at a double preposition, where we say a double preposition is a preposition that consists of 2 words. We looked at the example to be into, onto, and the rest. We again proceed to look at compound preposition. We looked at compound preposition. We look at the definition of what a compound preposition is. Then we moved on to look at what we call a complex preposition. Then we again looked at a disguised preposition. We looked at a disguised preposition. Then finally, the final type of preposition that we looked at is what is known as the participle preposition, where we say the participle ending with either en or an ing, and now ending with either en or an ing, 7 as a preposition. I'd like to use this very moment to thank each and every one of you that sent in your comments and your contributions. I'm very grateful, and I really want to encourage us to click the like button, share the links with your friends and family, and send in your comments, questions, and contributions. I want you to actively take part in whatever activity that we are doing here so far and we've done so far. And again, I want to use this opportunity to recommend Peroma Academy and to ask you to follow Peroma Academy on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, and then on YouTube. You can again check on our website at peromaacademy.org to come out to see the interesting courses and activities that we have for you to partake in. It's really interesting. I will really encourage you to make it an effort to visit our social media handles to get more info about us. Now, in today's series, we want to look at the categories of prepositions. Now, prepositions are categorized into different areas. We have a preposition of time, we have preposition of place and direction, we have preposition for connections, and prepositions that are used in academic writing. So in today's series, we're briefly going to talk about the preposition of time. Now, when we say a preposition of time basically indicates the time relation of the noun to the other parts of the sentence. It indicates the time relation of the noun to the other elements of the sentence. So we have some common prepositions. Remember, from the very beginning, I made you understand that we have 150 prepositions, and out of the 150 prepositions, we only use 70 of them. So 150, we only use 70 of such prepositions. Now, of the 70 of the prepositions that we use, the commonly used prepositions are less than 30. So we want to look at the preposition of time under the category of preposition of time, where we want to look at the common type of prepositions that we use in relation to the preposition of time. So the first one is the preposition in. The preposition in. Now, what is the meaning of in as a preposition? In as a preposition, what does it mean? We say in as a preposition. If we want to use it, we use it in relation to month or seasons. So if you want to use in as a preposition of time, the first thing that you need to understand is that we use in as a preposition of time in relation to months and season. So in August, I was born in August. My birthday is in July. We celebrate Christmas in December. So in is used as a preposition of time in relation to months and season. So in the summer, we usually go on a vacation. So in the summer, remember, summer in this context is a season. So if you are using the preposition in, the first thing that we use a preposition in with is with either the months and seasons. Either with months and season. Again, we use a preposition in with years. So month and season, and then in years. In years. In goes with years. In the year 2020, there was an outbreak of a coronavirus. So we use it with years. In is used first. Remember, we say in as a preposition is used with months, with seasons, and in again is used with years. In again is used with years. Again, we use a preposition in with a time of the day. A time of the day. So if you want to use a preposition in, we can use a preposition in with the time of the day. I'll meet you in the evening. Evening is a time of the day. Let's meet in the afternoon. In the afternoon is a time of the day. Let's meet in the morning. In the morning is a time of the day. So remember that we say when we want to use the preposition in relation to time, we use it first with month. We use the preposition in with regards to time with years. We use it with seasons. We again use it with the time of the day. We again use the preposition in with the time of the day. Again, we use the preposition in with centuries and historical periods. We use the preposition in as a preposition of time with centuries and historical periods. So in the 20th century, in the 19th century, in the 17th century. So anytime we are using as a century and we want to use the preposition in, we use it in relation as a preposition of time. So we use it with the century and historical periods. So again, I want you to repeat so that you understand and really appreciate it carefully. That anytime we're talking about the preposition of time, and the first preposition of time that we want to talk about is in. If we want to use a preposition in relation to time, we use it with month. So in January, in February, in March, in August, in September, in November, in December. So in as a preposition of time is used with month. Again, in as a preposition of time is used with seasons. In the summer, in the spring, in the autumn. So seasons. Again, we use a preposition in with the time of the day. We use a preposition in with the time of the day. In the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening. So preposition in used with the time of the day. We use again preposition in as in regards or in relation to time with years. In the year 2000, in 1999, in 2017, in 2015. So we use it with years. Again, we use a preposition in with certain period, or we use it after a certain period of time. So we use a preposition in after a certain period of time. So Mystic Market closes in 2 hours. Period, after a certain period of time. After a certain period of time, we use a preposition in. So school closes, or this particular session that we are having closes in the next 15 minutes. So after a certain period of time, it closes in 15 minutes. So in this sentence, I use in as a preposition of time, meaning to refer to a certain period or after a certain period of time. So that is the first use of the preposition in if you are relating it to time. We use it with month, with seasons, with years, with days, the time of a day. We use it with centuries, and we use it after a certain period of time. The next type of preposition that we talk of, preposition of time that we talk about, is the preposition at. The preposition at. When do we use a preposition at? We say a preposition at is used in relation to the time of days. So if you want to use a preposition at, you relate it to the time of days. At 12 o'clock. That is the time of the day. At 7 o'clock. At 3 o'clock. At 9 o'clock. So if you are using a preposition at in relation to time, the first thing, or the first use is we use it in relation to time of the day. At 1 o'clock, at 2 o'clock, at 3 o'clock, at 4 o'clock, at 5 o'clock. That is the time of the day. Again, we use a preposition at with noon, night, and midnight. So let's meet at noon. Let's have a prayer at midnight. Let's have dinner at night. So at noon, at midnight, at night, we use a preposition at with them. Again, we use a preposition of time, which is at, in names of mealtime. In names of mealtime. So anytime we want to talk about a mealtime, we use a preposition at, especially when it is referring to time. So at breakfast, we had a lengthy discussion at lunch. We had a little misunderstanding at dinner. So anytime we want to use a preposition at, we use it in relation to names of mealtime. Names of mealtime. So at breakfast, at lunch, at dinner. Again, we use a preposition as a preposition of time in regards to age. We use it in regards to age. So I learned how to use a computer at 12. I learned how to use a computer at 12. So you notice that in the sentence at 12, 12 is my age, is the age at which I learned how to use a computer. So in relation to age, I use at. So as a way of summary of the preposition at, remember, this preposition at can again be used as a preposition of place. So in relation to time, we use the preposition at with this specific areas. One, we say at the time of the day. So if it is morning, afternoon, at 2 o'clock, at 3 o'clock, at 5 o'clock, at 6 o'clock, at 7 o'clock, at 8 o'clock, at 9 o'clock, and at 10 o'clock. That is the times of the day. Again, we use a preposition with noon, night, and midnight. So at noon, at night, at midnight. Again, we use a preposition with names of mealtime. Names of mealtime. At breakfast, at lunch, at supper, at dinner. Finally, we use a preposition at in regards to age. I learned how to use the computer at 12. She learned how to read at 13. He learned how to speak French at 20. So that is how we use the preposition at with regards to time. Our next preposition that we look at is on. The preposition on as a preposition of time. The preposition on as a preposition of time. So we say we use a preposition on with days of the week. Days of the week. So if you want to use on as a preposition of time, you use on with days of the week. So we have Monday, on Tuesday, on Wednesday, on Thursday, on Friday, on Saturday, and on Sunday. So if you are using the preposition on as a preposition of time, you use it with the days of the week. Okay? Now, as a way of summary for what we've discussed so far in relation or in regards to the preposition of time, we look at the preposition in, we look at the preposition at, and we look at the preposition on. We said in is used with months and seasons. It's again used with years. We use in with times of the day. We use in with centuries and historical periods. We again use in after a certain period of time. So that's how we use in as a preposition of time. From there, we proceed to look at the preposition at, where we say we use the preposition at for times of the day. For times of the day. So at 2 o'clock, at 3, at 4, at 5. We again use the preposition at with noon, night, and midnight. So at noon, at night, at midnight. We use the preposition at again with names of mealtime. Names of mealtime. So at breakfast, at lunch, at supper. Finally, we use preposition at with age. We use the preposition at with age. So we say, I learned how to do something at a particular age. Our last type of preposition that we looked at today is the preposition on in relation to time, where we say we use the preposition on for days of the week. So anytime you want to use a preposition on as a preposition of time, you use it with days of the week. So on Monday, on Tuesday, on Wednesday, on Thursday, on Friday, on Saturday, and on Sunday. This brings us to the end of the first part of the preposition of time. I hope you enjoyed this particular session. I would like to encourage you to share the links with your friends, send in your comments and your contributions, and make a time, decide purposefully to practice everything that we've done so far, make use of it, and then with this, you will be able to speak better. Till then, I wish you the very best of the day and continue speaking, for remember, with grammar, you will speak better. Have a wonderful weekend. Bye-bye.